Today I'm going to be spending most of the day in the garage. My first project is to unbox and assemble this TST R9 dual battery long range moped style e-bike. Anyway, let's get started. It seems to be packaged and wrapped well. I'm going to get everything laid out, then we'll go through everything. I have everything laid out. These are the handlebars, and the cables are already connected between the controls on the handlebars and the bike. The front all-terrain fat tire and a brake hub. A 54.6 volt 2 amp Li-ion battery charger, the kickstand, package of nuts, bolts, and washers, rear passenger foot pegs, the left and right foot pedals, derailleur guard, and this is the bag of tools needed for installation. It has the various open-ended wrenches and Allen wrenches, and this reversible slotted and Phillips screwdriver. The front plastic fender and bracket. And this is the seat mounting bracket. It already has the wiring cable for the tail light mounted to it. The main seat. This is the rear seat. The front headlight, and this is the 48 volt battery. That is the key lock to lock it onto the bike, and this over here is the on-off switch and the dust cover where you plug in the battery charger. I was informed that I have one battery short. They are out of stock. They are in production and will be back in stock soon. And the user installation manual. I have all the tools, nuts and bolts, and installation manual on my portable tool cart, so everything is here handy and within reach. I'm going to leave the bike upside down while I install the kickstand first. It will mount to these two holes here. I'm going to remove the bolts and the washer that's already on the kickstand using the 5mm hex key. Now the kickstand goes in behind the mounting plate here on the bike, and you'll put the bolt and washer through the hole and into the kickstand. Once again, using the 5mm hex key to tighten up each bolt. I will install the left passenger foot peg first. Using the 19mm wrench, remove the outer nut. Take the threaded passenger peg and screw it onto the axle bolt. I'm using the larger 6mm hex key to tighten up the peg. Now I will go over to the other side. Once again, I will use the 19mm wrench to remove the outer nut. And screw on the right passenger peg to the axle bolt. And tighten with the 6mm hex key. Now we will install the front wheel. The first thing we need to do is remove the front wheel axle using the 15mm wrench. You will want to loosen both nuts, the one on each side. You will want to completely remove the nut on one side and completely remove the axle. Each side has a nut, a safety hook washer, a flat washer, and a sleeve washer. Remove those on just one end. You will now remove this long sleeve, and it was just for packing and it can be discarded. Now we will install the front tire. You want to make sure this brake hub is on the left side of the bike where the brake caliper is. And the brake hub will slide in between these two brake pads. You will insert the front fork axle into the front wheel hub. Then install the sleeve washer, the flat washer, and the washer with the safety hook. You want to make sure that the washer with the safety hook is secured into the mounting hole of the fork. take your 15mm wrench and tighten the nuts on each side. Once the bolts and the nuts are good and tight, give the tire a spin. Make sure that it spins evenly and doesn't wobble. This one looks good. Now we'll install the front fender using a 4mm hex key. You will need to remove 3 bolts. The one here in the middle on the bracket mounted to the fork tube. Next, we'll remove the one on the bottom of the left fork tube. And the third one on the bottom of the right fork tube. Now we will grab the fender and mount it to the forks. The bracket on the fender comes in from behind, and the fender comes in from behind and bolts from behind. Now we'll attach the wire bracket on the left side to the left fork tube. The loop on the bracket will go on the front side of the fork. Then the screw will go through the hole of the wire and then into the fork. Now to the right side, the loop on the wire support goes into the outside of the fork. Now I'm going to come back over here and finish tightening up the center bolt. To install the handlebars, we're going to remove this rubber hex screw cap with a 5mm hex key. Remove the stem. Flip the stem over and face the arm to the front. Put the aluminum top cap back in place. I'm going to go ahead and align the stem with the front wheel and the center of the forks. And I can readjust later if I need to. And reinstall the rubber cap. Next, you will tighten the 2 neck bolts. Next, remove the handlebar clamp, which consists of 4 bolts. When you install these handlebars, these knurled grooves in the middle of the handlebar, you want to make sure those are centered on the bottom of the clamp. Once that's centered, take the outer bar clamp, install the 4 bolts, double check and make sure the knurled grooves are centered still. There is a pattern to these bolts.
Go 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's the order they must be tightened. I made this mistake on my Harley Davidson changing out handlebars. I never could get my handlebars tight. They slipped. And come to find out, it was the order that I had tightened those bolts. And then having tightened them in the correct order, they haven't slipped since. And the 4th and final one. Now we will install the display panel to the handlebars. You will need the 3mm hex key to remove the 2 bolts on the clamps. Place the clamps around the handlebars and reinstall the 2 bolts. Take the plug coming out the back of the display and plug it into the other end that is mounted to the forks. Next, check the angle of the brakes according to your comfort level. This also takes the 3mm hex key. I think I like that. The right brake is good. Now let's loosen up the left rear brake. And drop it just a little. To install the front light, fold out the 2 brackets. Next, you'll want to remove the bolts and the foam pads on each side of the light. Now when you install the light, you want to put the bolt through the bracket and then put the foam pad between the bracket and the light. And obviously the same order on the other side. The bolt through the bracket and then the foam pad between the light and the bracket. You will use the 14mm wrench to tighten the bolts to the light. Now I'm sure once I use this light at night, I will probably have to adjust the angle and the height of the light. Next, we'll take the wire cable mounted to the frame and plug it in, line up the notches and plug it in to the front light. Next, get the two pedals. We will do the left pedal first, and if you will look on the end of the pedal, you will see engraved an L for left. On the left pedal, you will screw it in counterclockwise. Then you use a 15mm wrench to get it good and tight. Now to the right side for the right pedal, you will see engraved on the end an R for right. On the right side, the pedal will screw clockwise. Next, you will attach the seat to the seat bracket. I have it flipped upside down to make it easier. Be sure to put a washer on each bolt before installing the bolts. Next, you will install the four longer seat bracket bolts from the inside of the frame. Install a flat washer onto the bolt and run each of the four bolts through the holes from the inside of the bracket. Now you will take the seat bracket and set it down, aligning the bolts through the holes on the e-bike frame. Next, you will put a flat washer, a lock washer, and then the nut on each of the four bolts. Now to tighten these, you will use a 6mm hex key and the 13mm wrench. Next, you will install the passenger seat, which consists of 4 bolts. Be sure and install a flat washer on each of the 4 bolts and install the bolts. Next, you will plug in the tail light, line up the notches, and push. Now it's time to install the battery. You will align the battery with the base, then slide the battery down until it locks in place. Now remove the keys that are zip tied to the handlebars. To lock the battery to the frame, just insert the key and turn. Now the battery is locked to the frame and cannot be removed without the key. And there you have it. Now we're just ready to charge the battery. Be on the lookout for the next video, where we will go through all the features and test it on the street and all types of terrain. If you or someone you know are interested in e-bikes, you can check out and get more information on this TST R9 or any of their other bikes. I will put a link in the description drop box below. I also have a $100 discount code that can be used. That discount code is AThrottleHolic. I will also put it in the description drop box below.